Okay. All right, so it's my job to keep you guys awake. You just had a lunch, and hopefully you'll learn something out of this. Haley already did this part. So what I want to talk about is an exciting topic for us, obviously marketing. And it's an interesting time for staffing and search businesses. And we'll just start with what Wikipedia defines as competitive advantage, and that is, it occurs when an organization acquires or develops an attribute or combination of attributes that allows it to outperform its competitors. I didn't want to stand behind the podium. So you know, you guys know more than I do because you guys are doing it every day how competitive it is to, in this business. It's a red ocean. You're competing every day for candidates and new clients, and trying to differentiate yourself is extremely difficult. And so we ask clients on an everyday basis, how do you really differentiate yourself? And they say a lot of different things. Some of them say they have the best vetting programs, right? Who says that? You're able to get to people that are of a higher quality because you bet better in the competition. Nobody. All right. Next. We hear speed to candidate. You're able to get candidates quicker than your competition. Couple. Because you have a large database, right? You've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years. You have a database that's got hundreds of thousands of candidates, and your database is bigger than everybody else's. Couple. Contractor and candidate care. You keep a good. You take care of your people, right? I mean, the people, if they're being taken care of, they're going to do better at the client. They're going to do better for you. They're going to be with you longer. And you have that as a competitive advantage. Anybody else have that? All right. Don't be afraid. Just stick it up straight on. Plans, we hear this all the time. Our benefits plans are better than our competitors. We provide, healthcare, dental, training, all these things that provide opportunities for our candidates to work with us. Anybody offer that as a competitive advantage? Couple. Then we also hear, well, we've got the best people, right? We've got the best recruiters, we've got the best salespeople, we've got the best people that can fulfill jobs and fulfill orders. I'm not seeing enough hands here. This is what people are telling us, so I know some of it's true. But what we don't hear is that we can use marketing as a competitive advantage, and it's a real competitive space right now. Who believes that you've got competitors on a daily basis breathing down your neck? Each market continues to get more competitive. I heard that at lunch today. I don't know where you're at, Madison, Wisconsin, right? Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is talk to you a little bit about how you can use marketing as a competitive advantage. Now, something happened in the translation of this text, so it's funny fun. Anyway, I'd like a show of hands who believes that digital marketing is a high priority for your business. A little higher, please. All right, 80%. Who has a dedicated person or works with an agency showing that it's a high priority? 10, 12. So 80% of you say it's a high priority. A few of you really are doing something about it. That's pretty standard in this industry. So staffing companies and marketing have had this funny relationship over the years, right? And you're probably all guilty of this. You've got your marketing is about making brochures and print materials you can hand out in person, and you're also making coffee cups. And the reason for that is because wants to fulfill an order, they're going to call your first two relationships that they've got. And then after that, they're going to look on their desk and they're going to look at who did I meet with last, who's got a piece of swag sitting by me that's the latest and greatest widget that I can call, it's got a phone number, right? Everybody do that? So that's really been the traditional relationship with staffing companies and marketing. And why is that? Because marketing requires overhead, and it's typically an afterthought. And when it's an afterthought, we call that the MAR principle. The MAR principle is the most available resource, right? So whether it's an admin, whether it's a recruiter, whether it's a salesperson, whoever's available to do that next marketing task based on some event is the person who ends up doing it. Anybody guilty of that? No? I see little hands. I see T-Rex arms. So that's what we do. And this is what we've seen over the years. So these are some things that, well, we see your competition right now. Your competition, and I've got a copy of this, so if anybody wants it afterwards, there's something in the hand or in the bag that if you reach out to us, we'd be more than happy to send it to you. So what we see is this is a period of time where there's a website redesign phase, and we went through this back in like 2006 and 2008 because usability and interfaces are changing with mobile becoming more of a prevalent interface. We're seeing a lot of redesign going on. And what we're seeing is that your competitors are out there redesigning the website and they kind of just stay. We're also employing low-budget social media plans expecting big results. And what I mean by that is they're taking the time to dabble in a few things. Actually, hit a couple more. Taking some time to dabble in wide areas of marketing, which could be, let's take some time and do something on Facebook, or let's go ahead and LinkedIn and put our company page up there and let's provide some content. What happens is your competition is doing this, but they're doing it with poor content. They're talking about the latest chili recipe or things that don't freeze. And you'd be surprised, but we see this stuff all the time. It really doesn't attract your buyer persona, their buyer persona. So we're seeing that your competition is kind of touching on this because they realize it's of high importance, but yet they're not executing it effectively. So the reason that is because the most is my ROI, right? That's who's asked that question about marketing? Okay, a good chunk. But we need to understand that marketing is a marathon, not a sprint. What we mean by that is that a lot of companies will take the time to do little spurts of things, whether it's a 3-month project or a 6-month project. And then they say, well, what did we get out of it? And in the equation that we use for marketing, it's all about website traffic, right? And there's a correlation between candidates and clients that come to your website and leads that you get. And then, this is an example of a 3-year timeline that talks to, that it's a marathon. You can't expect return in such a short period of time. And the reality is this. Increasing if you're doing those things will increase website visitors. Website visitors equals more leads equals more revenue. Does anybody disagree with that? No? So there is a direct correlation between your website traffic and your business revenue. And that's something that we want to talk further about. So when you hire a new person into your business, and this I'm going to display here is how to get out to some of these other networks that you're currently not tapping into. Because you all want to get more candidate leads, more clients, right? So if you hire someone into your business, all right, what they're going to do is they're going to bring a personal network, whether it's their LinkedIn connections or Facebook connections or friends or network, other business associates that they've worked with prior to coming to your business. They bring this personal network. And then you've got this, use Ultra staff, and you've got years of knowledge in these systems, and you've got a company network, and these are relationships between companies and your business. So it's a business-to-business relationship. Well, what we're trying to do is find how can we get to that untapped territory, right? You want more candidates, more clients, and how do you get them? And our objective here is to reach those outer rings. And you've only got so many hours in the day, and you've only got so many recruiters and salespeople that are willing to, or not willing, but you've only got so many hours, right? If you got 100 phone calls, we got 100 phone calls, but we have to find a way to get to those outer rings, and that will help create a competitive advantage. So how do you use marketing to do that? We have 10 steps. So And again, after this is over, like I said, if you want the presentation, you have to do it. First step is pretty simple, all right? Have a plan, have a documented plan. Does anybody here have a documented strategy and plan with somebody that, did I see a hand back there? I don't know. I saw her hand first. I don't know if I can throw that far, but can you catch? No? I'm going to try it anyway. I can't see the guy in front of you. It's a little tall, so if I hit you. Oh, close. Okay, so step one is to have a plan. Document it, have somebody that owns the plan. The biggest challenge that we've seen in this industry is nobody owns a plan, right? You end up having different people that are attacking different tasks and nobody owns a plan outright. And so this is step one, and it sounds real basic, but it's true. You got to start here. Step two, document and define a detailed buyer persona. This one's going to be tricky. Anybody have one of those? Oh, you raised your hand twice. Can you catch? Are you sure? Sorry, that's wrong. So, detailed buyer persona, a lot of you people understand your business and you know it really well, and you can probably rattle off in your head exactly who your buyers are. But the problem is when you communicate it and you train, let's say, your new sales rep, your new recruiter, on how to communicate your business, that's easy. You've got scripts and they know how to communicate it. But you need to be able to communicate it in a written format and through the digital web. So having a detailed and documented buyer persona identified is critical. I mean, you definitely have to have that, and we've got some samples of that. Three, make sure your website is engaging. Now, there's a difference between an engaging website and a website. You can't raise your hand. Okay, so if you want to know what an engaging website is, just give me a call and take 10 minutes, and I can tell you. So an engaging website is something that, where someone's going to come in, they want to do something, right? They don't just want to read, what do you guys do, what's your service, what's your offering? They want to do something while they're there. Who's got one of those? Oh, there we go. Okay. Catch. Your friend can catch. Hey. So that's step three, and it's just, as simple as it sounds, it's vital, and there's reasons why as we continue to go through this. Call to action map. Call to action map is defined. I'm going to define it first before I point to the crowd. The definition of a call to action map basically is a map how you navigate through the website to engage your traffic and your visitors, right? So you've got your website, you've got your about us, and you've got your services and your description. That's great. But what do you want them to do when they get there? And having this map outlined is kind of a navigational roadmap of how to engage them while they're there. Anybody have one of those? You can raise your hand again if you. You do?
I was afraid to raise my hand.
Oh, yeah, since nobody else did. You got one?
Well, what's the difference? Call to action, kind of, but what's the difference between having an engaging website where you say do something while they're there and a call to action?
Call to action is the final result of what we're doing, whether it's a download, whether it's I mean, they're kind of intertwined, but you can have an engaging website without a bunch of calls to action, but they're almost kind of intertwined. So form fills, downloads, PowerPoints, and I'm not talking like educational and ebooks and case studies, white papers, and those kinds of things. Do you still qualify?
Our blog is on there.
Well, our ebook,
We'll get to that.
We just created an ebook, and we're going to be able to, probably the next day or two, you'll be able to download our ebook.
Anybody else have an ebook? All right, we did. That was like right there. So that was that. The first one was on me. That one was on me. All right, tools, right? And this is interesting because a lot of I would bet that most of you don't have any marketing tools. outside of what the staff can provide, right? So when I say marketing, we're talking new business development and reaching out into the community type of marketing. The marketing that Paul's going to talk about is candidate marketing. So for us, it's a very different dynamic. But when you acquire tools, you have to give yourself the train of thought that it's just like owning an applicant tracking system. You need your recruiters and your salespeople tools. All right, so you got to give marketing tools, and these are things that UltraStaff can do. Some of these things, but some of these things are extra. Unfortunately, there's only, unless you're getting into marketing automation tools, you're going to have to kind of invest in multiple tools to do what you need, and that's a must. Anybody have any of these marketing tools? We're talking, okay, keep it back one. So social media management, you probably use Hootsuite, or use this Hootsuite or any type of, keep your hands up. Analytics, who uses Google Analytics? Okay. Marketing, anybody have a marketing automation tool like a Pardot, Acton, Marketo, HubSpot? Yes? Kind of? Email marketing, probably use that through UltraStaff, or do you have like Constant Contact or MailChimp? Okay. And then content management is pretty set up, okay, so everybody's got one of those. So who's got like 3 of these? I saw this name first. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, what's it? So 1 through 5 is kind of the foundation. That's what we consider, if you're going to really create competitive advantage for your business and marketing, 1 through 5 is the foundation of what you need to just exist. That's just to be in the game, right? 6 through 10 is the fun stuff. And this is what will really set your companies apart from the others. Make a commitment to content. That's a big one. Who can say that they've made a commitment to content? So I saw a hand back here. Oh, I'll believe you. Oh, that's a good catch. That was awesome. All right, so it's real simple, right? If you're going to make a commitment to content, that could be anything from ebooks, white papers, case studies, article writing, press releases. It's just having a commitment that says, over the next course of time, you're going to do something. And the way to start that is to create an editorial calendar. Anybody have an editorial calendar? You moved out everything over here. What's your name company?
Portico staffing.
What is it? Portico.
Portico staffing, but we do outsource the majority of it.
Okay.
So I write a check for it.
To companies like us.
Yes, that's
right.
right.
That's right. Okay. So she has an editorial calendar. I saw the one over here. Do you do it in-house? That deserves something. Get sunglasses, because that's pretty cool. All right, so it's pretty basic, right? If you've got these things set up in your content calendar, that's a great place to start. There's a bunch of other things you can do. But the date, content type, whatever it is you're going to publish, the author, that's what we're going to talk about. Links within your content, you've got to pay some attention to SEO. For those of you that have a content calendar, do you pay attention to SEO factor? And you have to make sure that you're writing to your target audiences. And also with content, you got to use it effectively. There's so many things you can do. You got an article that turns into an ebook that can be split up into 10 tweets and 20 Facebook posts, and so you want to make sure you're getting economies of scale where it relates to your content. Step 7, got to create your personal brand. Who's set up on Google authorship? Do you have a LinkedIn, are you a LinkedIn publisher? You're a winner. Catch? Ah, very good. All right, so only one in the room can claim. All right, so does everybody know, like, if you don't know what Google authorship is, raise your hand. Right. If you don't know what a LinkedIn publisher is, raise your hand. Okay. So if you're gonna create a personal brand, which you need to do in order to beat your competition, Really, actually, let me step back. So if you've got a blog, who blogs on a regular basis? Say once a month. All right. Who blogs with the author as admin? Hey, you admitted it. We should at least give you something. Because here's the thing: when you blog as admin, it means that there's really no author behind it. So when you set up your personal brand, it's vital that you start creating an opportunity for your visitors, people that aren't aware of you, to know who you are. All right? And so LinkedIn Publishing Platform is a platform where you have to ask for permission to publish. But who over the last like 3 months, you got a little notification? Oh, is everybody on LinkedIn? Yes? You've got a little notification that says so-and-so published a new article or a new publication. Have you guys seen that recently? So it's just been popping up lately, right? Last couple months. That means one of your connections is on the LinkedIn publishing platform. When they publish an article, not only do all of you get all of your connections, but then multiple third and second and third connections get. So it's a way to create an opportunity for you to be found and for more candidates and clients to be aware of you. Social media. Who's got a sophisticated social media plan? Right? You're probably asking what's the difference between sophisticated and not so sophisticated. For us, it's paying attention to the LinkedIn publishing platform, LinkedIn groups. Everybody's in LinkedIn groups. Who's not in a LinkedIn group? So your LinkedIn, who targets their LinkedIn groups specifically for your buyer persona, which your target audience, to read what you write? So the idea is, what we find is people that are engaged in LinkedIn typically have a couple of groups. It's their alma mater, it's their neighborhood community, it's a couple of their hobbies, and maybe the local chamber. So we do this LinkedIn matrix, and we've got a copy of that too, that kind of outlines, where do you get your content so people can be aware of you. And it's a detailed list of groups that are targeted at your buyer persona. And that's part of this sophisticated social media plan that's required. Google Plus is an area that you have to be present in. Who doesn't have a Google Plus business account or page? Sorry. Oh, that's so good. Who's just put it up but hasn't done anything with it? Surprising.
We're not perfect.
So it's important for you can hashtag stuff and you can get found in the top 10 searches. There's a bunch of stuff. But anyway, we're not saying you need to spend a lot of time on it, but it's a place you just have to be. Google is Google. Anybody have 3 of these that they've done? Or they could claim? No? 2? Somebody getting the same view. I'll throw it to you. It looks like you're falling asleep. I'm just kidding. So we believe in LinkedIn because your clients are on LinkedIn. Maybe some of your candidates are. A lot of them probably are here in light industrial. But it's a growing. This is 2 months ago. It's a growing platform. We all know that. And I can't remember where we found this, but members are 2 times more likely to engage in the content. And this is vital. If you are using this as a platform, it's important that you're out there. Here's just a real quick sample. So we had a client that at the end of last year we picked up, and they had asked us to get involved with their content. And so it's hard to see, but the previous 6 months, they had 14 visits that came from LinkedIn to their website. And so we changed a few things, we put some content together, we shared it the right way, and that jumped to 2,100%. So it's really, this is not hard, right? But you can see, I would bet that most of your competitors aren't paying attention to this. And this is traffic that's right? If people are on LinkedIn and they're connected to you, then they're going to want to visit your website based on your content. This is just a simple example. Who pays attention to SEO? Okay. Oh, that's a new hand. You have Google Analytics account?
Yeah, it is, right?
You don't sound confident.
We do.
Okay. You pay for it? We'll have to talk about that because it's free. But maybe you might be mixing that up.
I think we did it.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's okay. Do you pay attention to it much? And do you look at reports?
I should, and we check equipment with us. We don't always have time.
Okay.
Should.
So it's not important, but you pay attention to it. I'll give it to you. All right. So I'm not going to get into this. This is a very technical topic, and it's a topic all of its own, but you have to pay attention to SEO. Measure and modify. This is probably one of the most critical aspects. Who's got, we call it our inbound marketing dashboard. Does anybody, just like you measure and modify your recruiters and your salespeople, right? There's a submittable ratio, there's who's hiring the most people, who's got the most phone calls. Does everybody do that? Yes? Right? Every recruiter and every salesperson is under a metrics kind of system. You should do that same thing for marketing. Does anybody, it's probably just a few of you. Do you have a dashboard or anything you use? No? Anybody else? Yes? You got one. Do you have a coworker with you? Can you catch? That's a bad joke. All right. So anyway, we have an example of that available if you want. And so if you're thinking about this seriously, and this is something you guys can do on your own, if you're saying, hey, you got 80% of you said this is important, and you want to create a competitive advantage, and only a few of you are doing it, you can see that either one, it's not important, but you all agree that more website traffic equals more revenue, and or you just, it takes time to do this, and it is a long-term journey. So you can just kind of go through this. This is kind of you should look at it from a 30, 60, 90-day kind of plan. And again, it's just setting it up and making sure you've got your strategy in place, you've got your content ready to roll, and then you're actually executing. So tangible results will equal the competitive advantage, right? And there's a few of them here. So you increase your traffic, and this is kind of the recap slide. Increase traffic on all your platforms, you're going to get more business. It's just the way it works. More candidates. It's also going to be a validation of expertise. So if you're out there and you've got authors that are publishing and you're talking about interesting things, then it's going to be a validation of expertise. If you're in a hole and people don't know how to find you and they don't know who you are, and they're looking at your company versus another company, and they're able to find out about you and your culture as long as it's not, kind of demeaning to you. If you're putting out good content, they're going to say, hey, I get a better feel for this person and this company than I do this person. So we'll validate their expertise. You're going to get more organic search results. It's just it happens. You create more articles, you create more stuff, more people are going to find you. It's by default. You're going to create more followers and brand awareness. So when people follow you and your company, they're going to ultimately say, hey, you know what? I remember these guys. I'm following them. I saw a piece of content. Maybe I should reach out to them. I'm looking to fill along. This is a big one. It's kind of an underplayed in that sales support and effectiveness grows. So you guys probably have sales slicks and print material and things that you can provide for your sales and recruiting teams. But having additional things out in the digital space will give an opportunity for new clients, or if you're prospecting, they can find things that are relevant to them. It's a great sales support mechanism. That should be a default of doing these activities, steps 1 through 10. And this is kind of underplayed too. So if you hire a new salesperson, they come in and they work 3 to 6 months, and maybe they don't work out, or a recruiter, they're gone, right? When you put content on the web, it pretty much stays for life, really. I mean, there's a couple articles that we've got that are 3 years old and they still get a ton of traffic. It's like stupid stuff like how to calculate an email open rate. Or, so we get this ongoing traffic, and the shelf life doesn't go away. So if you are able to create discuss 1 through 10 is going to get shelf life just by default. So that's it. I think I did my 30 minutes. I don't know if we have time for questions, but that's in there to make the transition. If not,
Yeah, unfortunately, we are going to take a schedule, but I'm sure that Kevin will be around for a little bit.
yeah, we'll
These
do it.
questions.
Whatever, my email, my
Contact information.
yeah, feel free. And that's it.
All right, well, thank you, Kevin. Next up, we're going to have our VP of Systems Engineering, Molly Essinger, back on stage again. She will be talking to us about the ACA. Welcome, Molly.
So,